If I got a penny every time someone tells me, Chiara, I don't feel this exercise in my glutes, I'd be the richest woman on earth right now. There are a few things to consider if you want to feel your exercise more in your bone, and today I'm going to be revealing you the secrets. Before we start, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want me to train you to give you the biggest glutes that you ever had experience in your life, then link down below. Okay, first of all, let's start by stating the obvious. When we lean more forward with an exercise, okay, and we will have seen this with lunges, rather than staying more upright, lunges, even like good mornings, different exercises, and especially compound exercises, normally we tend to feel them more in our glutes. And the recent swap that I've done with my workouts, specifically with squats that have completely changed the game, is doing my squats instead of a high bar squat position, low bar. What does it mean? Let me just show you quickly. With a high bar position, normally we tend to stay more upright, right? So high bar means just high on your trap like this, and obviously we have to try and maintain an upright position. But what do we say? Obviously we still target our glutes because it's a compound movement, but if you want to target our glutes a little bit more, like a sprinkle a little more, so much more, not even a sprinkle, like a lot. So the other variation of squats where you'll have to lean automatically more forward is the low bar squats, where your bar will be positioned at the bottom of your traps. This is a new variation. If you've never done it, it will take you a while to actually get used to it. Even with myself, I recently started incorporating it, so I've only recently started doing this. Practice always makes perfect with everything. But what is the magic with this is that you have to lean more forward automatically with this variation, okay, making this automatically more glute focused. Let's say that you actually don't like this variation for some reason, which can happen, okay? There's even another variation that you can use that can be more glute focused and a little bit easier if you're a beginner. This is much easier to perform for beginners and just as good for your glutes, okay? So this is the sumo squat. So sumo means that obviously we're acquiring a wide stance position, and because the load is directly in front of us, what is it forcing us to do? Automatically to lean more forward, okay? Forcing us to lean more forward. Straight away, the emphasis should be more on our glutes. So obviously these are compound exercises. So compound means that it will target multiple muscles at a time. What does it mean? That you will also feel it in other parts of your body. However, this kind of compound exercise, you can always slightly shift the focus a little bit more with these exercises. Same thing with our Bulgarian split squat. They're a compound movement, but we can make them slightly glute focused by leaning more forward. Also, a very good tip for your Bulgarian split squats and to feel it more in your glute is to actually use a lower elevation like a stepper or anything lower. A lower elevation means automatically targeting your glutes a lot more. But this is kind of the obvious. Now let's move on to the other things, the reasons why you're not feeling it in your glutes. Okay, so another thing is the way you position instead your feet. Sometimes just slightly changing the position of your feet can make the world of a difference. And this depends on genetics as well and your bone structure, how long your limbs are. You might want to play a little bit more with the stance and your foot positioning. In fact, why this is so crucial, because certain cues that work specifically for me and for my height and for my bone structure and body composition might not necessarily work with someone else that has a different height, different bone structure, etc., etc. Let's say, taking into consideration, for example, good mornings, I only feel good mornings when I go very wide with my stance. Center people, for example, they will start feeling it more in their inner thighs instead, for example. But for me, personally, the way I'm doing good mornings in this certain specific way is the only way I can feel good mornings in my glutes. How do I do it? So I go very, very wide, and also the bend of my knees. Obviously, we know that if you want to target it as well, RDLS is exactly the same. We want to bend at my knees, but the way I bend at my knees is way superior to what normally people do. I like to bend a lot on my knees. Almost it seems like a squat. Obviously, it's not a squat, it's a good morning. But this is exactly what works for me, for my body. And I will tell you how to recognize this in a second for your body as well. I will go with a lower bar position, like I said, so that I can lean a little bit more forward. I go very, very wide. You see how wide I'm going? And now look at the knee bend that I have. Okay? And I go up. Yeah. Exactly like that. Okay? In this way, I feel it so much more in my glutes. But now let's move on to the third point, because it connects to what I'm telling you right now. And how the hell can you tell how and where you should be positioning your feet and everything, or adjust yourself based on your own bone structure and body composition? Okay, so we're talking about the king of the exercises here. Some people I know that they tell me, Chiara, she can't feel this in my glutes. Sometimes, like I said, again, changing the position of your feet can make a huge difference. Now the general, I'm talking general because again, depending on your body composition, blah, 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 like we said before, the general cue to feel this is to have a perfect 90-degree angle. So you can use your knee as a reference, or have it down and point it out, or simply just record yourself and see when it forms a 90-degree angle. Now, this is a very general thing because actually some people might feel it even more in their glutes when they actually go a little bit further and they're not as 90-degree angle anymore. Some people maybe they just come a little bit closer and they're again not 90-degree or not perfectly perpendicular, and they still feel it more in their glutes. So the secret, or how to know what works more for you, is exactly what the words say. Feel it. Learn to listen to your body. I always pay super attention to myself and my clients, to their feedback, and that's why I collect so much feedback with them, because you will know I'm not inside you. So unless you are the only person that will know whether you need to readjust the position of your feet, or whether you're feeling it in your glutes, in your quads, or in your hamstrings, by listening to your body, you will automatically understand whether you need to adjust yourself. And just simply try and modify. So for example, test different things out. So for example, have your feet a little bit closer. Now try it again a little bit further. Now maybe like with a wider stance, with a narrower stance, like try and test it. This is the only way to find out what works more for you when you're on your own. Or again, if you want me to help you and coach you, you have the option as well. So again, link in the description for that. But generally speaking, if we talk about exercises on a ranking of which ones that will feel more in your glutes, of course will be isolation exercises instead of compound exercises. That is obviously clear. So normally isolation exercises like this one. So doing this, the cable kickbacks, 45-degree back extension, glute bias one, they all will tend to target your glutes straight away. So when you don't feel it, these exercises, it means that there is a problem with your form, because these isolation exercises, normally they're isolation, so they will target your glutes. When you don't feel them, it's because normally your form is a little bit off. So you need someone to help you correct that. And with my clients, by the way, I help them because they send me videos of them performing the exercise. I tell them exactly how to position their feet, how to recorrect themselves and their posture, etc. But the biggest tip out of this video that I want you to take on is to listen to your body, and don't be afraid to slightly adjust different things and try different things out yourself, such as again positioning your feet in a different way. Or if you want someone that can coach you and build the biggest, juiciest funda of your absolute life, then you know where the link is. Now for me, I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you never miss posts and videos, useful tutorials from me, from your favorite Italiana here. But yeah, thank you so much for watching for me, and see you another time with another video. Ciao!